Ever wish you could, like, hit fast forward on getting a product to market? From that first spark of an idea to, boom, seeing it on the shelves.
This dream, right?
Totally. And today, we're diving into a software suite from a company called Esco that's all about making that process smoother, especially when it comes to packaged goods. We're talking RDOSCAD, KPak, Store Visualizer, Studio, the whole nine yards.
And in today's market, speed can be the difference maker. Every day your product isn't out there, a competitor could be grabbing those sales. Or worse, you miss riding a trend entirely.
Yeah, no pressure or anything. So Esco has this set of tools, right? And each one tackles a different stage of that go-to-market journey. But before we break it all down, what's the overall impact of using a system like this? Big picture.
Think of it like a well-coordinated team.
Mm.
They always outperform a group just doing their own thing, right? ESCO's software is like that coordination, but for your whole product launch.
Mhm.
Makes everything flow smoother and faster.
Okay, I like that analogy. So let's zoom in on the first tool, RDOSCAD. Say I need to design a box like from scratch. What happens in RDOSCAD?
It's like your design playground, but way more efficient.
Yeah.
Instead of a blank canvas, you've got these awesome templates for the most common packaging types. Saves you tons of time right off the bat.
No more reinventing the wheel every time. I like it. But I'm guessing there's more to it than just pre-made templates. What makes RDOSCAD really stand out?
Definitely. Their parametric design tools are where the magic happens. So you've got your basic box,
Hmm.
right? But you need to see what it looks like a bit bigger with a different type of lid, whatever.
Yeah.
Instead of redrawing the whole thing, you just tweak a few settings and the software updates the whole design automatically. And it keeps all the measurements exact so you know it's going to work.
That's huge. I can't tell you how much time I've wasted fiddling with tiny design changes in the past.
Yeah.
So, RDSCAD prevents design headaches, late nights. But what about those times when your design looks perfect on screen, but then you actually try to produce it and dot disaster?
Get in there. That's where RDOSCAD's pre-flight feature is clutch. Imagine a superpowered proofreader for packaging.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Before you even think about sending anything to the factory, pre-flight checks the whole design for potential issues like, hey, this flap will be impossible to fold, or these dimensions won't work with standard materials.
That's amazing, catching those costly errors before they even happen. That's got to be a lifesaver for businesses.
Exactly. Getting it right the first time is key for a fast and efficient launch.
For sure. Okay, so we've got our design nailed in, RDOSCAD, dodged any production nightmares thanks to pre-flight. Now we've got hundreds of these boxes all ready to go. But how do we make sure they're shipped and stored as efficiently as possible? Because that's got to impact the bottom line big time. That's where KPak comes in, right? You know it. KPak is like the logistics wizard in Esco's lineup. It figures out the absolute best way to pack all those boxes onto pallets into trucks, which honestly sounds way more complicated than you'd think.
It's a puzzle, but the pieces have huge implications. Get it right, you're talking lower shipping costs, smaller environmental footprint, even potentially lower prices for the people buying the stuff. Everybody wins.
Love me some win-win situations. Speaking of, I was reading about this company, Great Northern. They make dog food, right?
Hmm.
Among other things. They actually used KPak to solve a real-world problem.
Yeah, so their big thing was, how do you get more bags of dog food onto each pallet, but do it safely? You'd be surprised it's a really common problem. Companies lose money, efficiency, all because they haven't cracked the palletizing code.
Makes sense. It's not like you can eyeball a box and just know. So how'd KPak help them out?
It let them run simulations, basically. Different pallet arrangements, different bag sizes. They landed on this configuration that seriously boosted how much they could fit on each one, but also made sure it wouldn't all come crashing down in transit.
Okay, so more bags per pallet. That's already huge. Fewer trucks on the road, right?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And that translates to lower fuel costs, lower emissions. The whole sustainability angle is big these days. Customers care about that stuff, so for a company like Great Northern, it's a smart move.
It's good business and good for the planet. I'm here for it. But it's not just about cramming as much as you can, is it? What about damage? Stuff moving around during shipping.
Another thing KPak is great at, when your pallet's loaded right, things don't move, less chance of stuff getting banged up. For Great Northern, that meant way fewer bags splitting open, which, come on, nobody wants that.
Less waste, happier customers, probably some very relieved warehouse workers who don't have to deal with dog food explosions. All right, so we've got our packaging designed with RDO SCAD. Logistics are optimized thanks to KPak. We're on a roll here. But before we launch this thing, wouldn't it be cool to actually see what it'll look like in the real world?
Cue the store visualizer
So
right there.
store visualizer, this
Yeah.
is where it all comes together, right? Like actually stepping inside your design.
Virtual reality, but for product launches. Imagine this. You've got the headset on, and suddenly, boom, you're in a supermarket. But not just any supermarket. It's like the ultimate simulation. You can walk around, scope out the competition, see exactly how your product fits in.
That's cool, but realistically, how's it going to help get my product out there faster? It's got to be more than just a cool visual, right?
Oh, it's way more than that. Think of it as like data-driven design decisions. Instead of guessing what might work on a shelf, you can test things out, see how visible your packaging is, if the branding's clear, all that. It takes out the guesswork so you understand how customers experience your product, for real.
So you get to see how it performs before even printing a single box. That's wild. I'm seeing how these tools all connect now. Each one builds on the last.
Exactly. But there's one more piece to this puzzle studio. We've designed the packaging, nailed the logistics, visualized it in store. Now, Studio helps you nail the final touches, the things that make people want to grab your product off the shelf.
Like those little details that make something feel, I don't know, premium, even if you can't put your finger on exactly why.
You got it. Studios where you play with different materials, finishes, lighting. It's like a virtual photo studio, but for your packaging.
No more expensive photo shoots crossing your fingers, it turns out, all right. This is almost too good to be true.
But it's real. And the best part is, it levels the playing field for businesses of all sizes. If speed and efficiency matter to you, this is the kind of tech that gives you a real edge.
We've covered a lot of ground today. From that initial design phase in ArtioSCAD through all the logistics with KPak, and finally seeing it all come together with Store Visualizer and Studio, Esco's really built a pretty incredible suite of tools here.
You haven't missed a beat. It just shows how powerful software can be. Streamlining stuff, reducing errors, helping businesses really thrive.
It's been amazing to dive into this world, see what's possible, but the real magic's going to happen when people listening take this and use it for their own challenges, their own goals.
Absolutely. So here's the thought for everyone to chew on. How can you use these tools, this idea of virtual prototyping, to not just stay ahead of the curve, but actually define its next bend?
Define the next bend. I love that. It's not just about keeping up anymore. It's about setting the pace. Well, on that note, I think we've officially conquered our deep dive into the world of ESCO. Huge thanks to you. It's always a pleasure picking your brain.
Anytime. Always happy to geek out about this stuff. Until next time.
And to everyone listening, thanks for joining us on this adventure. Hopefully you've picked up some good stuff to take back to your own work. Keep exploring, keep innovating, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.